I'm Kerry Brooks. Welcome to this video presentation on the Pacing Technologies case. The Pacing Technologies case included a Disavowal of Claim Scope based upon a summation and a global statement. Also of interest in this case was the court's comments about declarative statements in reaching its decision. Let's take a look at the Pacing Technologies case. Pacing Technologies owned a patent which is directed to methods and systems for pacing users during activities involving repetitive motions such as running. The Federal Circuit affirmed the district court's grant of summary judgment of non-infringement. The accused Garmin products are GPS fitness watches that allow the user to design workouts using the Garmin Connection website. The Garmin products display the user's actual pace, but do not play music or output a tempo corresponding to the user's preference or actual pace. The only independent claim in the patent asserted by Pacing Technologies includes a preamble reciting a repetitive motion pacing system for pacing a user. The term repetitive motion pacing system for pacing a user is not in the body of the independent claim, but the Federal Circuit held that the preamble term was limiting because the term user was used in a dependent claim, and the preamble of the independent claim was a necessary limitation to give antecedent basis to the dependent claim. In construing the meaning of the phrase, a repetitive motion pacing system for pacing a user, as recited in the preamble, the Federal Circuit recognized that the plain and ordinary meaning of the phrase did not require a system for pacing a user by playing back information in a tempo. The Federal Circuit noted that the specification included 19 objects of the present invention, but found those alone were not enough to include a clear and unmistakable disavow or disclaimer that required departure from the plain and ordinary meaning of the phrase under question. However, immediately following the enumeration of the different objects of the present invention, the patent set forth a summation stating that those 19 objects and other objects and features of the present invention are accomplished, as embodied and fully described herein, by a repetitive motion pacing system that includes a data storage and playback device adapted to producing a sensible tempo. The Federal Circuit stated that with those words, the patentee does not describe yet another object of invention, but alerts the reader that the invention accomplishes all of its objects and features, those 19 enumerated objects and others, with a repetitive motion pacing system that includes a data storage and playback device adapted to produce a sensible tempo. The patentee drafting attorney made the mistakes of listing objects of invention in the specification. The drafting attorney followed this list with a summation that included a global statement using the term present invention. Now, also interesting is that the Federal Circuit held that the patentee had disclaimed certain devices, including the defendant's devices, based upon statements regarding objects and features of the invention set forth in the written description section of the patent. In reaching its decision, the court noted that we have found disavow or disclaimer based on clear, unmistakable statements by the patentee that limited the claims such as the present invention includes, or the present invention is, or all embodiments of the present invention are. And there was emphasis placed in the original of that section of the decision. Now, it was in italics, but I put it here in bold so that you could see it better. Now, each of the three sentence segments cited are each part of a declarative sentence That declarative sentence declares that something is required or is mandatory with respect to the subject of the sentence. Each sentence segment includes a verb indicative of definiteness, not a verb indicative of a possibility or possibilities. So it's very important for people involved in preparing and prosecuting patent applications to look at every sentence and make sure they mean what they say and say what they mean. Otherwise, disastrous results can occur. I hope you enjoyed this video presentation, and I hope it was helpful for you. Thanks for watching.